Necromancers. By far my favorite class to play in any RPG game. I just love how unique they are and just the aura that surrounds them, they're just badasses. I can't get over how cool they are. I will always pick Necromancer when given the chance. This video is about going through all the games that I've played and other ones I've seen and just kind of narrowing it down and making my own opinion of who did the Necromancer justice. Now, in my opinion, there's three criteria that meets making a good Necromancer. First, you need to be able to summon or manipulate the dead in some way or form, raising skeletons or zombies or whatnot. Number two, you have to be able to practice the dark arts in some form, sacrificing life to heal your friends, whatnot, dark spells, things like that. And the last one, you have to be a caster class of some form. Necromancers I don't feel are really melee. They cast spells and things like that. Now I had to narrow the list down to only 4, really 5. Here are a couple that didn't quite make the list, but they are all still really good Necromancer games. Check them out. Now just remember that this is my list here, in my opinion, and it doesn't mean it's right or wrong. It's just my opinion. And if you have an opinion, feel free to comment below or message me or whatnot and have a discussion about Necromancers and all kinds of games. I'm sure I'm missing some game here. I haven't played them all. Now, starting off the list, we have Rift and Path of Exile. Now, you may ask, they don't have Necromancers in either game, but I'd argue that they kind of do, because you can adjust the classes you pick to be Necromancer type players. Like in Rift here, this is a Gravewalker, I believe it's called, and you get an undead skeleton pet, and you can cast detrimental spells and all kinds of things later on in the game. So it fits that criteria, even though it's not a typical traditional Necromancer class. Same with Path of Exile. Here is my summoner that I play, and he's basically a Necromancer because he summons zombies and skeletons and all that, and he curses, and he's a dark practitioner. He's basically a Necromancer, even though he's technically a shadow class when you start the game, but I've molded him into a Necromancer. So that's why I kind of put them together, because they're both very similar like that. Maybe Path of Exile's got a little more customization. I just couldn't discern between the two, so that's why I put them at 4 tied. I thought both of them did the class justice and met the criteria that I feel is what makes a good Necromancer. Now, if push came to shove, I'd probably put Path of Exile at 4 and Rift at 5, but I have not played Rift a ton, so I did not want to be biased and give Path of Exile the nod here. But if you've never played either one, go check them out. They're both free, so you can't lose. Now, at number 3, I have Diablo, and it was really hard, trust me, to put Diablo at number 3, because Diablo 2 and Diablo 3 have done the Necromancer justice in spades. It is a excellent class, and I bet a lot of us, when we first played a Necromancer, it was a Diablo Necromancer because they're so well known. Everyone loves them. They're great characters. Who doesn't like blowing up corpses? Come on. That is the best skill out of all Necromancer skills that I've seen. It's the best. I love it. They're great. Now, they meet all the criteria for your standard Necromancer as well in Diablo. You're a summoner. You can summon skeletons. In Diablo 2, you can summon golems. You can revive the undead. In Diablo 3, you can do the same in similar ways, just a little bit more limited. You don't have your leg army like you did on Diablo 2. But you still have pretty good skeletons, and it's nice on here because you don't have to keep refreshing them when they die. They just automatically do it, which is a nice addition to a Necromancer on here. So, with that said and done, they basically meet all of the criteria across the board, and they are excellent. If you've never played a Diablo Necromancer, you are missing out. It is probably one of the best and most unique classes of all the Diablo classes. Definitely give it a try if you can. Now I'm going to get a little flack for putting Guild Wars on here as number 2, but hear me out a little bit. I feel that the Guild Wars Necromancer is just marginally better than the Diablo one, only because you can do more as a Guild Wars Necromancer than you can as a Diablo Necromancer. Diablo, you're limited by the amount of skills you have. You're not on here. There's a ton of skills. You can do a whole bunch. Your versatility is greater on Guild Wars than it is on Diablo. And I'm talking a little more Guild Wars 1 than Guild Wars 2. I haven't played Guild Wars 2 a lot, but Guild Wars 1 I've played a ton of, and that Necromancer was excellent in my opinion. You could be a minion master, you could use the dark arts, you could do a whole bunch of stuff. And then you could also mix it with a secondary class and make your own combination too. It was just freaking awesome. And the world is gigantic. There was so much you could do with that Necromancer. Now it was a tough choice between Diablo and Guild Wars for the number 2 spot, but I felt it was the right choice. I still think Guild Wars just slightly beats it. However, at the number 1 spot, I don't see any success or anything coming close. The EverQuest Necromancer, bar none, in my opinion, is the best Necromancer class that you can play in any game, and personally the one I've played probably more than any other. I just love it. They've done it almost perfect. This is what a Necromancer should be. The versatility of the EverQuest Necromancer has no limitations. I feel they're kind of like all classes put into one class. It's just awesome. You can resurrect people. You can summon corpses. You can feign death and avoid mobs. You have a pet who you can also make feign death. I mean, there's just so many things you can do. Now, EverQuest is free on Steam, so you can't go wrong trying it out if you want to. It is a pretty old game, but the Necromancer's on there for anyone to try out if they'd like to give it a shot. And I'd like to also try out any games that you guys may have played that have Necromancers that I haven't. I'd love to give them a try and see if there's some different features that I've never seen in Necromancers. And with that being said, I appreciate you guys watching. If you like videos like this, please like and subscribe. I'll be doing more, I'm sure. And hopefully we'll see you out there raising some corpses and exploding some bodies like I'm going to go do right now. Thanks for watching.